Hello and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we'll discuss the significance of understanding memory types and processes for optimizing learning and memory. Memory plays a crucial role in learning, retention, and cognitive function. In this lesson, we'll delve into the different types of memory and the processes involved, highlighting their importance in effective learning strategies. Memory is the ability to store and retrieve information when people need it. The three general types of memories are sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Memory is the foundation of learning. Understanding memory types and processes allows us to select appropriate learning strategies, enhance retention and recall of information, improve cognitive function and problem-solving abilities. Let's begin by examining the different types of memory. Sensory memory captures sensory information briefly. For example, when you see a flash of lightning, the image lingers in your sensory memory for a fraction of a second, allowing you to process and perceive the event. Short-term memory holds information temporarily for immediate use. Short-term memory is not as fleeting as sensory memory, but it's also not as permanent as long-term memory. Short-term memory is also known as primary or active memory. You can keep information in your short-term memory by rehearsing the information. For example, if you need to recall a string of numbers, you might keep repeating them to yourself until you input them. However, if you are asked to recall those numbers about 10 minutes after inputting them, you'd most likely be unable to. Long-term memory stores knowledge and experiences for long periods. Long-term memory enables you to remember significant events from your past, such as your childhood experiences or learning to ride a bike. There's no limit to how much our long-term memory can hold and for how long. We can further split long-term memory into two main categories: explicit and implicit long-term memory. Explicit long-term memories are memories we consciously and deliberately take time to form and recall. Explicit memory holds information such as your best friend's birthday or your phone number. It often includes major milestones in your life, such as childhood events, graduation dates, or academic work you learned in school. Implicit long-term memory. We are not as deliberate with forming implicit memories as we are with explicit ones. Implicit memories form unconsciously and might affect the way a person thinks and behaves. Implicit memory often comes into play when we are learning motor skills, like walking or riding a bike. If you learned how to ride a bike when you were 10 and don't pick it up again. How these types of memories are formed. Memories are made in three distinct stages. It starts with encoding. Encoding is the way external stimuli and information make their way into your brain. This could occur through any of your five senses. The next stage is storage, where the information we take in is stored. It is either stored briefly, like with sensory and short-term memory, or more permanently, like with long-term memory. The final stage is recall. Recall is our ability to retrieve the memory we've made from where it is stored. This process also outlines how sensory memory might be turned into short-term memory or short-term memory into long-term memory. Understanding memory types and processes is essential for developing effective learning strategies tailored to individual needs, maximizing retention and recall of information, facilitating deeper understanding and application of knowledge. In this lesson, we've emphasized the significance of understanding memory types and processes in learning and cognitive function. In the following lessons, we'll explore each type and process in detail to equip you with practical techniques for enhancing your learning and memory skills. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we will discuss the distinctions between short-term and long-term memory and their significance in learning and retention. Memory comes in various forms, but two primary categories stand out: short-term memory and long-term memory. Let's break down the key differences between them. Short-term memory, also known as working memory, is like your brain's sticky note. It holds on to information for a brief period, typically around 20-30 seconds. This type of memory is crucial for everyday tasks, such as remembering a phone number while dialing or holding a sentence in mind while writing. Long-term memory is your brain's vast library, storing information more permanently. Unlike short-term memory, which has a limited capacity and duration, long-term memory can retain information for minutes, years, or even a lifetime. It's where we store knowledge, experiences, and skills that shape our personalities and identities. Duration. One of the key differences between short-term and long-term memory lies in their duration. Short-term memory lasts for a brief period, around 20-30 seconds, before the information is either forgotten or transferred to long-term memory. Long-term memory, however, can retain information for much longer, ranging from minutes to decades or even a lifetime. Capacity. Short-term memory has a limited capacity. It can hold, on average, about 7 items. In contrast, long-term memory has a nearly limitless capacity, allowing us to store vast amounts of information without running out of space. Encoding. The process of encoding or transforming information into a format suitable for storage also differs between short-term and long-term memory. Short-term memory mainly relies on auditory and visual representations for encoding, similar to taking quick snapshots or sound bites of information. Long-term memory encoding, on the other hand, involves semantic processing, where information is transformed into meaningful concepts and associations, akin to creating a detailed mind map. It's essential to recognize that short-term and long-term memory are not isolated systems, but interact with each other constantly. New information often starts in short-term memory and then transitions to long-term memory through processes like rehearsal and encoding. Additionally, information retrieved from long-term memory can be temporarily stored in short-term memory, facilitating its use in cognitive tasks. In summary, while short-term and long-term memory serve distinct purposes and have unique characteristics, they continually interact with each other to support learning, memory consolidation, and information retrieval. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we'll discuss the various factors that influence how well we remember information and experiences. Memory retention is crucial for learning, problem solving, decision making, and overall cognitive function. Understanding the factors that impact memory retention can help us optimize our learning strategies and enhance our ability to retain and recall information effectively. Biological factors play a significant role in memory retention. These include 1. Genetics. Genetic predispositions can influence memory retention abilities. Some individuals may have a genetic advantage when it comes to memory formation and recall. 2. Brain health. The overall health and functioning of the brain, including factors like neurotransmitter levels, neuronal connections, and brain structure, can impact memory retention. Healthy lifestyle habits, such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, and a balanced diet, can support optimal brain function and memory retention. Psychological factors also influence memory retention. These include 1. Attention. The ability to focus and pay attention to relevant information is crucial for memory retention. Distractions and multitasking can interfere with attention and impair memory formation. 2. Motivation and interest. Motivation and interest in the subject matter can enhance memory retention. People are more likely to remember information that is personally relevant or meaningful to them. Environmental factors can affect memory retention in various ways. These include 1. Learning environment. The physical and social environment in which learning takes place can impact memory retention. Factors such as lighting, noise level, comfort, and distractions can influence learning effectiveness. 2. Contextual cues. Environmental cues present during learning and recall can facilitate memory retention. For example, studying in the same location where you will be tested can improve recall by providing contextual cues. Emotions play a significant role in memory retention. Positive emotions, such as curiosity, enthusiasm, and joy, can enhance memory retention by increasing motivation and engagement. Conversely, negative emotions, such as stress, anxiety, and fear, can impair memory retention by interfering with attention and encoding processes. Cognitive factors influence memory retention in various ways. These include 1. Encoding strategies. The techniques used to encode information into memory can impact retention. Effective encoding strategies include elaborative rehearsal, visualization, association, and chunking. 2. Retrieval practice. Regular practice. Retrieving information from memory strengthens memory retention. Testing oneself or engaging in retrieval activities can enhance long-term recall. Memory retention is influenced by a variety of factors, including biological, psychological, environmental, emotional, and cognitive factors. By understanding these factors and employing effective learning strategies, we can optimize memory retention and improve our overall learning outcomes. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of factors affecting memory retention. We hope you gained valuable insights into how to enhance your memory retention abilities and optimize your learning experiences. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we will discuss the various strategies and techniques to enhance memory encoding, the process of transforming information into a format suitable for storage in memory. Memory encoding is a critical stage in the memory process, as it determines how effectively information is stored and retained. By employing effective encoding techniques, we can improve our ability to remember and recall information when needed. Visual encoding involves transforming information into visual images or mental pictures. This technique leverages the brain's ability to process and remember visual stimuli more efficiently than other types of information. Examples of visual encoding techniques include creating mind maps. Organizing information spatially in the form of a mind map can aid visual encoding by representing relationships and connections between concepts. Using imagery. Visualizing vivid and detailed mental images related to the information being learned can enhance memory encoding. Associating information with memorable visual cues can make it easier to recall later. Semantic encoding involves encoding information based on its meaning and relevance. This technique focuses on understanding and processing the underlying concepts and relationships between pieces of information. Examples of semantic encoding techniques include relating information to personal experiences. Connecting new information to personal experiences or real-life examples can enhance semantic encoding by making the information more meaningful and relatable. 2. Creating mnemonics. Developing mnemonic devices such as acronyms, rhymes, or vivid stories can aid semantic encoding by providing memorable cues to recall information. Organizational encoding involves structuring and organizing information in a systematic and meaningful way. This technique helps facilitate memory encoding by imposing a logical framework for storing and retrieving information. Examples of organizational encoding techniques include outlining. Information, breaking down complex information into smaller, organized chunks or categories, can aid organizational encoding by creating a hierarchical structure for storage and retrieval. Using hierarchical structures. Organizing information hierarchically, such as in an outline or tree diagram, can enhance memory encoding by highlighting relationships and dependencies between concepts. Contextual encoding involves encoding information within a specific context or environment. This technique leverages the brain's ability to associate information with contextual cues present during encoding and retrieval. Examples of contextual encoding techniques include studying in varied environments. Exposing oneself to different study environments and contexts can aid contextual encoding by providing diverse cues for memory retrieval. Using multisensory learning. Engaging multiple senses, such as sight, sound, and touch, during encoding can enhance contextual encoding by creating rich and distinctive memory traces. Memory encoding techniques, including visual, semantic, organizational, and contextual encoding, play a crucial role in enhancing memory retention and recall. By employing these techniques strategically, we can optimize our learning experiences and improve our ability to remember and retrieve information effectively. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one. Hello, and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we will discuss a popular note-taking strategy known as the Cornell method, which is designed to help students organize, review, and retain lecture and textbook information effectively. The Cornell method is a systematic approach to note-taking developed by Walter Pauck, an education professor at Cornell University, hence its name. It consists of a structured layout that divides the page into 3 sections: a main notes section, a cues column, and a summary section. 1. Main notes section. This is where you take comprehensive notes during lectures or while reading textbooks. Write down key points, concepts, and supporting details in this section, using abbreviations and symbols to condense information. 2. Cues, column. Alongside the main notes section, create a narrow column for cues or prompts. Use this column to jot down questions, keywords, or cues that correspond to the material in the main notes section. These cues will serve as memory triggers during review sessions. 3. Summary section. At the bottom of the page, leave space for a summary of the entire page of notes. After completing your notes, take a few minutes to review and summarize the main ideas and key points in your own words. How to use the Cornell method. Divide your note-taking paper into 3 sections: a main notes section, a cues column, and a summary section. During lectures or while reading, take detailed notes in the main notes section, focusing on key points, concepts, and supporting details. Use the cues column to jot down questions, keywords, or cues that correspond to the material in the main notes section. After completing your notes, take a few minutes to review and summarize the main ideas and key points in the summary section. During review sessions, cover the main notes section and use the cues column to test your memory and recall of the material. Then, check your understanding against the summary section. The Cornell method offers several benefits for effective note-taking and learning. Enhanced organization. The structured layout of the Cornell method helps organize information systematically, making it easier to review and study later. Active engagement. The process of summarizing and generating cues actively engages students in the learning process, promoting deeper understanding and retention. Efficient review. The cues column provides quick reference prompts for reviewing the main notes section, allowing for efficient review sessions. Customizable format. The Cornell method is adaptable to individual preferences and subject matter, making it a versatile note-taking strategy for various learning contexts. The Cornell method can be applied to various learning contexts, including lecture note-taking. Use the Cornell method to take organized and comprehensive notes during lectures, seminars, or presentations. Textbook reading. Apply the Cornell method to distill key information and concepts from textbooks, making studying more efficient and effective. Review sessions. Use the cues column and summary section to facilitate review sessions and self-assessment of understanding and retention. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome to this new lesson. In this lesson, we'll discuss the 2 powerful learning techniques, retrieval practice and spaced repetition, that can significantly enhance your memory retention and long-term learning outcomes. Retrieval practice, also known as the testing effect, is a learning strategy that involves actively recalling information from memory. Instead of simply rereading or reviewing material, retrieval practice requires you to actively retrieve information from your memory, which strengthens memory retrieval pathways and enhances retention. Active recall. Retrieval practice involves actively recalling information from memory without the aid of notes or textbooks. This process requires effortful mental retrieval, which strengthens memory traces and promotes long-term retention. Spaced retrieval. Instead of cramming information into a single study session, spaced retrieval involves spacing out study sessions over time. This spaced repetition enhances memory consolidation and facilitates long-term retention by reinforcing memory traces at optimal intervals. Retrieval practice offers several benefits for learning and memory retention. Enhanced retrieval. Strength. Actively retrieving information from memory strengthens memory retrieval pathways, making it easier to recall information in the future. Improved long-term retention. Retrieval practice promotes deeper encoding of information and enhances memory consolidation, leading to more durable long-term retention. Transfer of learning. Retrieval practice facilitates the transfer of learning to new contexts and situations, enabling you to apply knowledge and skills in real-world scenarios. Metacognitive awareness. Engaging in retrieval practice enhances metacognitive awareness by helping you monitor and evaluate your own learning progress and comprehension. Spaced repetition is a learning technique that involves spacing out study sessions over time to optimize memory retention. Instead of massed practice, cramming, spaced repetition distributes sessions across intervals, with increasing intervals between each repetition. Gradually increasing intervals. Spaced repetition involves gradually increasing the time intervals between study sessions. Initially, study sessions are spaced closely together, followed by longer intervals as memory strength improves. Active recall. Like retrieval practice, spaced repetition emphasizes active recall of information from memory during study sessions. Each repetition serves as an opportunity to reinforce memory traces and strengthen retrieval pathways. Adaptive scheduling. Spaced repetition algorithms adaptively adjust the timing of study sessions based on your individual learning performance and memory retention. This adaptive scheduling optimizes the spacing of study sessions for maximum retention. Spaced repetition offers several benefits for efficient learning and memory retention. Optimal memory retention. Spacing out study sessions over time optimizes memory retention by reinforcing memory traces at optimal intervals, leading to more durable, long-term retention. Time efficiency. Spaced repetition maximizes learning efficiency by focusing study efforts on the most challenging and least familiar material, reducing the need for unnecessary review of mastered content. Reduced forgetting. By systematically reviewing material at spaced intervals, spaced repetition minimizes the effects of forgetting and enhances the durability of learned information in memory. Long-term learning. Spaced repetition promotes long-term learning by facilitating continuous review and reinforcement of key concepts and information over extended periods. You can apply retrieval practice and spaced repetition to various learning contexts, including self-quizzing. Use retrieval practice techniques such as self-quizzing and flashcards to actively recall information from memory and reinforce learning. Distributed practice. Implement spaced repetition by spacing out study sessions over time and gradually increasing the intervals between repetitions for optimal memory retention. Adaptive learning platforms. Utilize adaptive learning platforms and spaced repetition software that leverage algorithms to tailor study schedules and optimize memory retention based on individual learning performance. By incorporating these powerful learning techniques into your study routine, you can enhance memory retention, promote long-term learning techniques into your study routine, and achieve greater academic success. This is it for this lesson. See you in the next one.